Paul Skenes, your NL starting pitcher.
Wow.
With an impressive performance as well.
Absolutely.
It's only one inning. And what was most impressive about this, Pittsburgh is a baseball town. 9.9 out of 24 on the TV rating scales. That is the highest rating out of any market in the All-Star game. So,
go check out Paul Skenes.
They sweep the White Sox, and they are at 500, and the All-Star break is about to conclude. And you have a big series for this weekend coming up with the Philadelphia Phillies, followed by the one that you need the most, this big one against the St. Louis Cardinals. Will we get a bat? Will they do the thing that they need to do and get the one more bat and rejuvenate this team?
Well, I mean, they did get the sweep against the White Sox that we were kind of worried about them not maybe getting. So
they did.
There is that.
That is your Bucko Bucko future forecast there. So that is, tough one against the best team in the NL. You'd like to stay above 500 in that series. And then the Cardinals, you pretty much got to win that one.
Yeah, you got to try and get above 500 tonight.
The most YinzCenter thing to happen would be for them to actually trade for a bat that we recognize after we record this show. I think if it's a name we recognize, though, that's probably not going to be a good thing.
I was going to say I don't know.
They would be old.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Mike Trout.
The only person that came to mind was like, I'm sure he's long retired by now, was Sean Rodriguez.
That's Sean Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yes, he's probably in his 40s by now.
Yeah.
So that is your Bucko, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with these Buccos here. The big Western Pennsylvania news, though. Former President Donald Trump there was an assassination attempt on his life on, what was that, Saturday evening, early evening?
No, you're right. It was Saturday.
That was wild. And that's Butler. Butler's only an hour, not even a little over an hour away, depending on what kind of traffic you hit from this side of Western Pennsylvania. So today we are going to be experts on things that we don't know about. So let's go, because realistically, this might be actually one of the biggest events Western Pennsylvania has ever seen. This is an attempt on a president's life.
Yeah, that I can remember, especially. Now, I've seen earlier today and whatnot reports coming out that apparently it was just shards of glass that broke off of something that got shot, and Trump got hit by shards of glass. I don't know how accurate that is. I just have seen it.
I think those reports are going to be wrong. Did you not see the picture that went where the bullet was whizzing by his head on the way through?
But I'm also trying.
Name your source.
I would no idea.
I was just say if it was an actual.
It was just somebody that I saw. It was a thing that I saw on Twitter, and I know not.
Well, which is hysterical. Which is hysterical though, because not only does this happen, but your current president Joe Biden is going through his phase right now. Everybody's aware of where he's at in the country right now, and it's a lot of very good chance that he's going to drop out of this race at this point, because everyone's morale on him is at an all-time low, and he's in his 80s, and it's very, very obvious his physical condition, and they have no one to replace him with, because they don't trust the vice president to win an election against the former president.
Right. I'm trying to find this.
It's okay. But it's the narrative that I just want to debunk that narrative, because the screens weren't even nearby. And you could see like reports from WTAE and like local people and local news channel sources. There might have even been a second one involved. Like this thing, I have a bad feeling this thing goes a lot deeper than just what they're pushing out there. The current narrative being that it was some kid from Bethel Park, 20 years old.
So a source who has spoken with a member of the Secret Service tells TMZ Trump was not hit by a bullet. Rather, a bullet hit his teleprompter and the glass struck him by the ear.
Okay, and I would like to say the Secret Service very well shows their incompetence on this one.
Well, we can't have anybody on a sloped roof because they might hurt themselves. Did you hear that one?
I did. So our current timeline of what the mainstream media is probably trying to feed all of us right now is that this 20-year-old kid from Bethel Park got the urge to drive up there in a van that he just had, suddenly filled with explosives at some point. No one really knows when, but he decided to go make the trip from Bethel Park to Butler to go see the rally.
Not that far.
And he goes to, he's scouting this thing out, and people
with a ladder and a gun,
and people are recording this on their phones. Like, hey, this is a suspicious suspect. And there's even the official reports are even saying that like the Secret Service knew of this kid as a threat 30 minutes before he shot the first shot. So what the Secret Service ain't looking very good at this point. And I'm sure you've seen the video of the women's Secret Service agents that are very panicked and like
the one can't even put her gun in her holster. She tries like 5 different times to put her gun in her holster. Neither one of them. So there was a picture of, and I hate to even say it, but there was a picture of the male Secret Service agents laying on top of Trump, and the Secret Service agent, the female Secret Service agent, just standing behind all of them, squatting. Not like in a pretty significant distance away. Now, I'm still looking for the hit by glass, and I've found things that have disproven that because there's
But still, but right there, you have a Secret Service agent telling one of the bigger, well-known media outlets in TMZ, hey, this is what happened. It was glass. It wasn't a bullet, even though there's a picture of a bullet whizzing directly by his head.
Yeah. I mean, there's... And I'm looking at stuff,
and what goes...
It looks like none of the teleprompters have been hit. So...
And for him to act on his own and to be able to do all of that on his own with this event being covered by state police, local police, Secret Service, for him to be able to get up on a roof and be able to just casually pick out a shot with civilians calling it out, he's casually able to pick out a shot right at a former president of the United States.
So the one sniper from the Secret Service that has been seen in the video that was seemingly the one that engaged him, he came out and said that apparently, now this is all on like Reddit, so who really knows, but apparently he's come out and said that he was that's him and his name and everything, and that he was told by the head of Secret Service to wait, and then for 3 minutes before that, I think, before he started shooting at President Trump or former President Trump, he was being watched by that sniper, and the sniper was never given an order to engage until after he started shooting.
Which is ridiculous. They're watching.
They're watching somebody with a gun.
All of this unfold.
In a clear line of sight to the president, former president, on a roof that you're not on because it's sloped and dangerous, but clearly, well, I mean, obviously it ended up being dangerous for him. But
well, it should be. He was exposed. It was very visible for everybody to see. He should have been taken out well before.
And like we said,
you could have tased him. You could have tased the dude. And you can just there he's done.
I don't know. I think we talked about this.
I think you should still kill him, but like, I mean,
well, yeah,
you have all the room in the world to get wide open
shot.
coverage.
But like, if he hasn't shot, okay. But if he has started shooting, then fucking shoot him.
So,
but
I think the big question is,
it's just very odd to me.
Who do you think sent him? Do you think there's no way this kid acted on his own at 20 years old? I know you at 20 and myself at 20.
Yeah,
we were too carefree, and we weren't.
I mean, but I definitely
emotional
knew
angst,
people at 20 that were like so fucking out there that if they would have been that kid, I probably wouldn't have been shocked.
And to get shot at though at any point,
right?
So that something was up there.
Yeah,
which I do find suspicious, though.
Odd to me.
Are you familiar with the company BlackRock?
Yeah, and he was in one of their ads as a child.
Yes, just last year. They filmed at Bethel Park High School just last year.
Oh, that's all older? Okay. No,
and now...
So he wasn't even a child. He was 19 then.
The long commercial is deleted. You cannot find the long commercial anywhere on Bethel Park's BlackRock commercial, because they're trying to show how good of a company they are. And they probably picked that weird-looking fucker out and said, hey, you look like someone who could be a great face to be the poster boy for an assassination.
Yeah.
You're fucking weird. Let's go ahead and do this.
Do you really want to hear? Let me... Go ahead. I want to find something for you.
So you're just interrupting me to tell me you're going to find something.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to... Because I was going to say it, and then I didn't want to say it.
So BlackRock also, there's that. Okay, so that's a weird coincidence, right? Yes. So, and are you familiar with how, what these people at BlackRock do? They're
contractors.
Not quite. They're market makers. They got their hands in on pretty much everything that you can fathom and consume in the real world at this point. Let's be real. And then especially the stock market. What is really concerning is in the stock market, shortly, it would have been Friday, there were reports coming out that there were puts, which in this casino is essentially saying, we bet that this price of this stock is going to be at this point or below. And they bought 12 million puts on Rumble stock and Truth Social stock. Those are one is DJT, Donald J. Trump ticker. That's his company. And the other one is also more of a conservative social media site.
I heard of the second one.
Truth Social?
Yeah.
Okay. So Trump owns Truth Social. 12 million puts for that stock price to go down. And then it was one of those things where like all of a sudden then you go to try to find the puts and they're gone. And they've been doing this shit for years. I think this is going to be, and just to think where we would be right now if Donald J. Trump didn't turn his head a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's...
What would this world be? Because I think a lot of the people that are, that have been on the Donald Trump side for years and years, even before his first election, that's going to probably be who knows? I don't want to say that would be civil war, but we very well might be looking at it if that bullet lands.
A lot of people say that. So we're doing conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah. Elizabeth Warren and crooks and the Trump shooter. I don't really want to give his name much credibility.
That's why I didn't say it, but...
Well, his parents also reported him missing that day, too. That's another weird thing about all that. 20 years old, lives at home with his parents, and he goes missing earlier in the morning. And he's put up to go do that. hey, here, be this kid. And what I did find strange about the WTAE initial reports was a lot of the local people were also saying there was a second person in the water tower.
See, I have no idea. I was out of state. I was in Ohio the day that this happened. So
I mean, you act like it's so far away.
well, yeah, but like, I had no idea, and I was in a hotel room with our grandfather, so I wasn't really.
Well, it's just fascinating to me because we literally are on like one of the most teetering points in history possibly right now.
Right.
Like we're going to look back on this moment in 2010. I'll even say 5, 10, 25 years, 100 years. And be like, boy, where would our country have gone if that head would have just been a little, if he just didn't move, if it would have been a split second earlier on the trigger finger.
Yeah, had he not gone to look at that graphic that he had up about something about
immigration charts.
Is that what it was?
Immigration charts.
I just heard him say, look at this graphic, and that's...
Look at this graph. That was a highly inappropriate time. But he's still alive, so I guess we can joke.
I mean...
But I never did finish my Biden thought from earlier.
I was going to say, yeah.
Biden, in response to all of this, is saying that he's not going to drop out of the race unless if a medical condition pops up. And, dude, it didn't even feel like it was 15 minutes later.
He had COVID.
It was, but White House, Biden has COVID. First lady is away and isolated in Rehoboth Beach. Like, no way. This is, you actually pulled out the COVID play 5 years after the fact. Well, I guess it's been more like 3 years, but either way, everybody's moved on at this point. But this is the one play. And then the Biden Twitter page is saying, I'm sick. 2 minutes later, of Elon Musk saying bad stuff about having the world say things about the Trump stuff, the Trump shooting. Didn't you say that just now? Was it 25 minutes ago? New York Times reports that the New York Times has reported that President Biden has begun to accept the idea that he may not be able to win in November and may have to drop out of the race. No, Joe, stay in the race.
Yeah, I mean...
And now if Trump wins, like, what the fuck is going to happen? Because granted, God willing, he stays alive at this point. Well, you think the first order of action would probably be to fire the Secret Service head director.
Oh, you know that's going to happen. That'll literally be his first action as president. He'll get sworn in and go, you're fired.
And people will erupt in cheers at that point.
Oh, and you know it'll get recorded, too.
I will say, too,
want it for social media.
With all this being said, and I know I've made fun of the liberals a good bit in this show over the past, and I really do think I like kind of lie more in the center of things as far as everything goes. But boy, man, and I probably did have a bit of whatever the everybody hating Donald Trump syndrome,
right? Back,
at the first thing, I did buy into like the Hillary thing. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, and then I started actually seeing more, and it was the first chisel of beginning to break. The foundational stone you thought that like all your legacy media was.
Right. And
it's very apparent at this point that if it's not apparent, I don't know what else to tell you, but
so
everything is just like this was, you can't tell me that this wasn't staged to some extent.
Yeah.
Like this whole I went from hating Donald Trump to I'm probably going to vote for Donald Trump as long as he's still alive come November this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't necessarily, he's elderly, but I don't know that would be.
Well,
by November.
They're obvious. The government's obviously trying to kill him, and there was clearly a very much of a stock market bounty placed on his head.
I was going to say, did you see yesterday or something? Within the last few days, Iran has come out and
said that they tried to kill him too.
Yeah, that they have an assassination attempt against him.
I think that's a desperation heave. I did hear the report come out. I don't disagree with I can't say like it's a false report, but I think there's a lot of people that have assassination plots against Donald Trump right now, including the Democrats, including big hedge fund money, including whoever the hell else in this World Economic Forum hellhole, like Klaus Schwab type people are trying to kill him. They all probably have plots. But boy, like, for him to take a bullet and then to be out and about doing his thing the next day, phew. Feels like it's almost a little bit of what America needs. Just somebody who's going to try, like, he might not be the best at everything, but at least he actually is. He could just retire and gone out in the sunset with his billions, but shit, man.
Yeah, so
ain't nobody else going to do it.
Apparently, within the last 16 hours, former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton told CNN, since the killing of Qasem Soleimani, the Iranian regime has been thirsty for revenge, and Trump has clearly been the target of these threats. He stressed that these threats are not just online discussions, but, quote, real threats.
I mean, we already saw a real threat.
Right.
It doesn't get really much realer than what happened in Butler.
No. Nope, with multiple people dead.
There was
other than him.
There was one man.
So it was just the one.
Former firefighter.
Right.
Just sounded like, good old YinzCenter type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hard-working.
Right.
Made an honest living. And he wanted to see the country. He thought Donald Trump was the man to make the country great again, and almost watched him die, and he lost his own life. Man, that's fucked. Like, to be at that, I can't even fathom being at like any of these large gatherings. But man, it's suspicious though how anytime you got the big, the big 3-letter companies, like the big government agencies, CIA, FBI, it just feels weird.
I saw that it looked like the FBI was already cleaning up the crime scene of like where the shooter was and everything.
Yeah.
Like this morning. I think I saw that.
So. I am more interested about the water tower though. Because I did hear people saying in the earlier interviews from like the day it happened that they were like, yeah, there's a shooter at the water tower.
Well, that would be definitely. I have not heard that, so that would be.
It's recently been trending, but there's some grainier videos. See, this is what's interesting. Back whenever Kennedy was assassinated, and by Lee Harvey Oswald,
grainy video was acceptable.
Well, I mean there was only so many cameras.
Right.
There was only so many places to find evidence, and you had to go on people's like word, and you're never going to get the full story. Now, with the amount of cameras and tracking devices on phones and internet search histories.
Right. Yeah, it's... You'd think you could be able to figure it out pretty quick, but... I mean, I guess they just don't want to. What it seems like to me.
Well, either that or it was intentional. I still think it was intentional. I see Secret Service trying to pass the buck on to state and local law enforcement.
And then they try to turn it onto them.
Hey, no, it's your fault. We told you guys that you didn't do this. It's like, no, the Secret Service comes in. We're doing everything the Secret Service tells us to do, because I'm pretty sure that's like the only people like a cop has to listen to is probably Secret Service or the big 3-letter agencies, or other than their own chiefs and stuff.
Right.
But boy, and it just reeks of big money, because other times people have gambled on big companies have gambled on the stock market and bet on things to go down. There was times right before the World Trade Centers went down in 2001. Major puts on the companies that were in that building. Millions and billions of dollars exchanging hands. All for the almighty dollar, buddy.
So, this was posted at 2:11 today. Biden State Department spokesman Matt Miller doesn't deny the Biden administration has once again renewed his sanctions waiver that unlocks billions of dollars for the same Iranian regime funding attacks against the U.S. and its allies in the Middle East.
Bro, I know Iran is somewhat of a threat, but Iran's been a threat.
Yeah, well, so now
for years.
But the threat is the nuclear threat. And have you heard any interviews lately with an investigative journalist named Annie Jacobson?
No.
Definitely recommend it. She just wrote a book called something about it's like nuclear war. Give me 1 second. I don't want to butcher it.
I'm more worried about. I feel like Iran's
it's called Nuclear War.
Iran's been
scenario, and basically she writes that like if any of these countries decide that they want to start nuclear war, it's over within 72 minutes. Everything is over within 72 minutes.
Well, yeah.
So
I don't think Iran's going to be the one that pushes the button first, though.
I mean, but all it takes is because once you start to launch them, there's no returning them. And that's what she writes about. She writes about all this in her book, and talks about it on podcasts.
You know, I'm actually amazed that you put out the perception for a second that you actually have read a book.
I'm absolutely going to read this book and all of her other ones. She wrote a book called about Operation Paperclip, which is where the government brought over doctors, scientists, whatever you can think of, basically from World War II, from Nazi Germany, World War II.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She wrote a book about that, and that's how I figured out about all that, because I heard her. She's also on Joe Rogan, but I watched her on a show called The Sean Ryan Show, which I listened to as well. And but we have 1,770 nukes in our arsenal, and Russia has about the same. But we only have 44 interceptor missiles. And those 44 interceptor missiles have a interception rate of 50%. So basically, you're looking at 22 missiles for 1,600, 1,700 missiles if Russia decides that they are going to just launch at us. And nobody knows how many North Korea has, because it's North Korea, and good luck
probably
finding anything.
2.
I mean, who knows? We'll only know when it's too late, I guess. But we have the detections. We have satellites in like orbit in space that can detect like instantly whenever they see like flame. They're over the known nuclear bases, basically, and they can detect like the flames from them, and then that'll instantly send a notification to whoever, and then that's whenever we'll all get notifications that a nuclear attack is inbound. And from then, there is 22 minutes until it launches, and 22 minutes until from it when it launches to it hitting us. So it's very interesting podcast, and I can't wait to read the book.
Okay, but I did feel like we kind of shifted way out of the element, because we started talking about Iran, and then all of a sudden it's nuclear war. And well, I as much as that's I guess a fear of everybody, of everybody's in this world. Like,
especially if you listen to this, I'm telling you,
we almost had our own nuclear war within the country, bro. Like,
talking about whenever we set off the thing in. What are you talking about? I thought you were going to talk about the thing in Hawaii, but.
Oh, that too. Oh, how they're trying to wipe. Well, yeah, they're definitely trying to wipe out Hawaii.
I meant no. That's not what I meant. Wasn't there like an alarm that went off a few years ago in Hawaii or something like that said we were under attack?
Yeah, they sent out the notification and stuff. And then they did it again with the COVID shit to try and tell us that the hospitals are overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, shut up. It was,
but yeah, no. So
virus. Don't go to the hospital. I don't go to the hospital. It's okay unless if it's actually life threatening. I do not go to the hospital.
So apparently, Sidney Crosby was named the 22nd greatest athlete of the 21st century by ESPN and the #1 hockey player overall. Yeah, I know.
That's your segue?
Yeah.
That's your segue out of all this?
Crosby's trending on Twitter. I wanted to find out why.
Jesus criminy. Like, I'm talking about the deep state and everything. And you're bringing up an ESPN list that has David Ortiz at number 45 and calls it a best athlete list. The fattest guy. I mean, not the fattest one, but the fattest one with the most success? Question mark.
I'd say so.
But who ultimately cares? The last thing I need right now is a list to distract me from like the actual world-shattering shit that's going on. I mean, if you're at least going to distract me, you could at least distract me with the idea of playing NCAA football 25.
Yeah, when does that come out?
That is tomorrow.
Ooh. So are you not going to work tomorrow?
I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Oh, you can only get it on PS5?
It is only on PlayStation 5. So if anyone would like to donate a PlayStation 5 to YinzCenter,
very much appreciated.
Let us know. Yes, we can make arrangements for you to give us a PS5.
And we'll give you some YinzCenter shirts.
Yeah. Yes, because those are valuable. You will want those way down the line when they go up in value. Originally handmade, can't find them. They're not re-replicated. That's for damn sure. But yes, you cannot convince me otherwise that the hedge funds and Democrats are trying to kill former President Trump.
I mean, yeah, that kind of makes some sense, I guess.
Because at this point now, if he gets reelected, which I think is pretty likely, I think people should still go out and vote and not ever take anything for granted.
Right. Sorry, I found some interesting news.
Is this actually developed within the last, 30 minutes since we've been recording?
It's from this morning.
I'm not interested.
Rob King was announced as the Steelers play-by-play radio guy, replacing Bill Hillgrove.
Just mixing in Pittsburgh sports news with a little bit of
it's a Pittsburgh show.
Yeah. And companies to look out for that you should hate: BlackRock, Citadel Securities, anything that's pretty much a hedge fund. Larry Fink, Ken Griffin.
I thought you were going to say Ken Griffey.
No, Ken Griffin. He's evil. Ken Griffey's got a sweet baseball swing.
Ken Griffey
the smoothest.
Oh, wow. My phone is definitely picking up on us. Because I have not seen a video of the water tower until now.
It's a very grainy video of the water tower, is it not?
It's a very, very, very grainy video.
Please don't also put the sound on at this point, since you
know I don't. I muted it before we even started.
Okay, but yeah, you're seeing this now too. Like it is. So apparently, it's in the lower part of the thing because there's the black shadow that you think might be one up top, but there's apparently one that it's hard to see until it dips down.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm gonna watch the bottom.
Unfortunately, it's a lot easier to try and identify it whenever there is a sound. It's like around the base of the tower.
I was gonna say I think I can kind of see
with
it.
the trees.
Yeah,
and then it's like the last shot that rings out. You see him go down. You might see you see a speck go away. That's the better way to put that.
He's like in the middle of these two trees, like underneath of the big black thing, and like that's there, and then he's like right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking in the right area. And I'm telling you, like I didn't, because like everyone was crooks, and that's the other funny part about it. Like, here's your 20-year-old kid. That's it. There's the guy. There's nothing else. Don't dig any deeper. Nope, please don't. This is the point where you dig deeper.
I don't know. That still looks too high.
Yeah, and I'm skeptical on that one right now too. But
because unless he's standing up on the railing, it almost looks like it's too high.
What just intrigues me though is that there were initial interviews with witnesses at the rally that were saying that there was water tower shots coming from the water tower. Now, would that be maybe a Secret Service guy? If this is a Secret Service guy that's on top of the water tower, why didn't he see the guy down below on the roof and just pop off his head? He could probably even shot his finger off, his trigger finger, if you're that good of a sniper, that'd be pretty wild.
So, I'm seeing that the top that you're seeing is the shadow at the top, and then there's a star logo on the thing. And that's what you see is the star logo.
I don't think I see the star logo down that low, though.
Okay, no, because now I see the star logo. No.
I think what's wild is being able to zoom out on Google Maps just a little bit, go up a little bit, and then there you are right there. You're pretty much right at the fairground area. Because then you can see the building.
Is he in the middle, like underneath of the star, or to the left of the star on the video?
Let me see here.
The star's here. So are we talking here or over here?
Right.
Like here.
I need like a pen.
Like right here.
Like right here.
Right here? Okay. Let me restart then because...
And then you can watch it like dip away at one point.
See, that looks like the top of a tree to me. Oh no, wait. I don't know.
I think you might actually need the sound because it's a little bit more convincing.
I'll watch it.
A little bit more convincing and everything.
I'll watch it afterwards.
We'll do some more diving analysis as we continue to speculate.
It looks like the top of a tree keeps coming and blowing down. So that's what I'm thinking. Because it definitely looks like it should be that tree.
But if it was just one, the thing is, if it was just one reporter interviewing somebody who had said water tower, there's a shooter at the water tower, I would probably be like, okay, that's one. There was like at least three. So there's more than one reporter interviewing different people who had similar tales of there was a shooter up there.
Sorry, I'm really trying to watch this.
I see that. Yeah, this is...
Because I see, like, I can see the moving, but I can't tell if it's a branch of the tree, because it looks like it should be the branch of a tree, but it kind of doesn't look like the way that the rest of the branches are moving.
But then you'll hear the shots pop off.
Okay.
Whenever, like, you actually, like, you'll hear the shots, and then you see it, you hear the last shot, and then you see it go down. And it's like, ooh, wait a minute, that's a little coincidence. There's a lot of coincidences in all of this. And with all of these amount of coincidences that stack up, and think of all these other assassination attempts throughout the years on people that have been trying to bring peace and prosperity together. I mean, whether it be John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King, there was a government agent taking out all of them that we eventually ended up finding out. Whether it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
So some people are saying that it might be a Secret Service agent up there.
That's the other speculation I have. It might be a Secret Service agent up there, but if that's the secret,
that makes a fuck ton of sense.
But if it's the Secret Service agent that's up there,
how doesn't he see that?
Well, there's the building that we found Crooks on, and there's the water tower. That's on Google Maps.
So he was here.
No, Crooks is on this building here. The water tower's right there. If you don't see Crooks on the water tower from there as a Secret Service agent,
so the stage was over here.
Yes.
I haven't looked at it without having.
Yeah, so your stage would have been right in like this middle portion there.
Okay, so he was over here.
And he was over here, and then the water tower's up there.
Maybe the walkway is only like a quarter of the way around. So he was looking for a sniper out over in front. You know what I mean? Because if the stage is here and he's here, he's got a whole beautiful vantage point all the way out here.
Well, he doesn't need to see all that. He needs to see what's going on over here. That's a neighborhood.
But a sniper can shoot from as far as they want, basically. So,
if you have a clear angle, but back at these houses, you're not going to have that same angle there. You're going too far away now.
But what I'm saying is, if you get height, you don't know how that neighborhood goes. Because if that neighborhood goes uphill, then there could be somewhere for them to shoot down from, and it would be clearer than you would think.
Well, you have a lot of forest already in the way, fair amount of trees, someone else's house, unless if you're talking literally like this house here, but they're going to have a tough angle. There's a lot of strange things about all this.
Yeah, and it's very, very weird.
And it's going to only get weirder as more things come out, whether it be whatever the media puts out that they consider the news, or if it's going to be what we find, what comes out of someone's social media, someone's video.
I just found a video or a picture. This picture was taken by Alexander Free after the shots were fired, but while Trump was still on stage, shows that there was no one on the water tower. Yeah, I would say there's nobody there. So I think my initial assumption was correct that it was the top of the tree branch.
Yeah,
you were seeing in that video, but
I'm tough. It's really hard to speculate against anyone's like actual official word. It's tough to take anything like for real, and it's going to be a while, I think, until this full story is like actually able to be laid out. And maybe we might not even be alive whenever it is all laid out.
Right.
Just think about how long it took them to admit, like, the Kennedy assassination or the Martin Luther King assassination or even the Abraham Lincoln assassination. Ronald Reagan, they tried to take his life, too.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. It's very different the way that the Secret Service reacted when Reagan was being.
What is funny though is like the following night after Trump was out, the only Secret Service agents that you saw were men that were like at least 6'6" or taller. It was all big dudes. There was no women. There was not one woman. And sure, maybe out there is somebody who fits. There's a chick out there who can actually do it. It's like actually Lana Kane from Archer, who's actually a badass. That's about your only one, because then otherwise you start getting Pam Poovey out in the field, just being obnoxious and not knowing how to holster a gun at all. That was funny. Just the inability to holster a gun. You're in a wormhole now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
Dude, it is gonna be
because now I'm not looking where you were looking. I'm looking at the very top.
Yeah, see, it could be at the top too. I was thinking the top at first, and then you'll see in a little bit.
Because I remember earlier I said it. Somebody said it was a shadow, and then there was the star on there. That doesn't really look like the way that a shadow moves to me. That's very weird.
And maybe the photographer captured the picture at just the perfect angle that no one could be seen.
Well, because, if you're looking at the top, the person would be on this side, and you only got the one side. So he could easily stand at the top of here on the other side of this, and you're not going to see him. Because this is very confusing. Like I said, this does not move. It's moving. A shadow wouldn't move like this in a video. Not this quick. Because it's there and then it's not. And it's really like, I don't know. Now I feel even worse because it's somebody quote tweets it and says, is that somebody on the tower? And Alex Jones responds and says, the backup shooter. I don't even follow Alex Jones. Why is he showing up on my Twitter?
Oh, yep. You have now unlocked the based algorithm. If Alex Jones starts popping up in your Twitter feed, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Yeah. Let's go.
It's on my For You page. So.
Yeah. Now it's time that we bring back the Alex Jones voice because it's appropriate.
He actually showed up the other day because he released a new video, apparently, of Bohemian Grove. So we don't really need to get into that, but it's not the first time.
It's obvious that the liberal elites are trying to take out President Donald Trump. See, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Still not as good as Shane Gillis's Trump, though.
Well, I don't get paid to do this, so.
Very true. Very, very, very true.
No, we talk about all of these speculative things for your pleasure. Because I'm sure, if you're not a Yinzer and thinking about this shit right now, then well, you might be a little crazy Libby, and you might be thinking that it's all staged and everything, and Trump staged it himself. I don't think I don't know why he would do that, because he would have died. I don't think there would be any, ultimate winning outcome if he would have died, if he would have mangled his own fake assassination. So I think we could safely discard that theory, and now it's which corporate global entity wants to take him out the most? Who's the one that's putting the dollar bills on his head, whether it be via the stock market or behind some other shady shit closed doors deals?
Right. Sorry, I'm watching a video of a bullet flying through Trump's ear.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But yeah. I think that's a pretty good speculative episode, and I don't want to put any other... Well, I would say I don't really want to put any misinformation out there, but it can't be any worse than the actual media, can I?
What's the worst that happens?
we get assassinated. And by the way, I would like to say, too, in the YinzCenter, we are firmly against assassinations. Is that correct now?
Yeah. You will not be hearing a tenacious D out of us. You won't be hearing...
and that goes for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or
anybody.
Even Gavin Newsom if they throw King Homelessness out there as their nominee. But, we are anti-assassination and proud of it.
Yeah, I don't... And I don't really care which side either. It's fucked. It's fucked to just try to murder somebody because of their politics.
Someone who's just trying to run for the country. And well, I think it's a good one. We didn't even have any other music segments.
I know. It's been a while since we've done that.
And we squeezed in like all the actual Pittsburgh sports news that there was.
Did we?
Yeah, you got the Rob King play-by-play thing. We got the Bucko. You got the Crosby number 22 on list thing. You did it.
I contributed this week. We did a non-conventional show, and I actually contributed somewhat.
Yeah, you had to talk about other things that weren't sports.
If you haven't yet, go watch Shane Gillis pretend to be Donald Trump on Kill Tony. Very funny.
And if you haven't yet, I always like to suggest getting a nice cold drink somewhere fun and wonderful. Somewhere like... That probably didn't work nearly as well with the music playing. But that's still Badge's Bar. Still loving Badge's Bar.
It definitely did not work as well as you were hoping it would.
Still hating Xfinity. Still... Ask questions. Ask the right questions. Look for the answers. Don't be satisfied with what they tell you. Believe the evidence of your eyes and ears, because the last command of theirs will be to ignore that evidence. Yeah, oh boy. YinzCenter, thank God that he's alive, because
I don't want to know what would have happened.
The YinzCenter...
Let's not find out.
The YinzCenter Civil War episode.
I would die if Civil War happened, so let's not.
Yeah, you'd be fucked.
Literally.
All right. Stay safe out there.
See y'all next week.
God bless the USA.
America.
God bless the Penguins.
Go Buckos.
God bless Paul Skenes' arm.
God bless Living Down.
There you go. All right. And that's it.
Next week, YinzCenter.